Welcome back to the channel once again. Thanks for checking it out. Today I have another unboxing, another Dune game this time. If you've been following my channel at all, you know I'm a pretty big Dune fan. I have pretty much every Dune game that's been made, I think. But anyway, today I picked this one up. I was out and about at a local game store. Risk Dune. Obviously, this is using the Risk engine. It's a re-theme of Risk using the Dune property. We'll get into the unboxing here in a second, but my understanding is it's kind of a re-theme of the Risk Star Wars game that came out about 10 years ago, which kind of redid the Battle of Endor. This is pretty much the end of Dune Part 2, the big, the war for Arrakeen, and that sort of thing. But I think the game follows a lot of the same steps and feels of that Star Wars Risk game that came out in 2015, which itself is a kind of streamlined re-theme of Star Wars Queen's Gambit, which was a Episode 1 themed game, which recreated the end of Episode 1, the Battle of Naboo, and that was put out by Avalon Hill, obviously around 99, 2000, so about 20, 25 years ago. Long out of print, very expensive now, but they've done a couple of these other games that are kind of a re-theming, but same mechanics as Queen's Gambit. So anyway, let's get this to table opened up, check it out, and see what's in it. Okay, let's get this opened up and take a look at it real quick. So obviously, the first thing you'll have is the rule sheet in here, or the rule book, full color, as usual, glossy, lots of shots from the movies, which is nice. Components list, special rules board, that kind of thing. Nothing spectacular, just typical Hasbro rulebook, very nice. Okay. The board, let me move the game out of the way for a second. Get that out of here. So the game board, it's a four-fold board, so it's pretty large. I can't quite, let's see if I can get it open here. There we go. So you have two sides to it. You have the, let me kind of move the camera a little bit. You have the Fremen side, which is basically the vision track, as they call it, where you get these different milestones as the game goes on. So again, very similar to the Star Wars Risk from a few years ago. And you've got the surface of Arrakis here where all the fighting takes place. And then this tells you, where people put their miniatures and stuff at the start of the game. And then on this side, upside down, is the oppressor track. And it's the same basic concept for the Harkonnen and Imperium, where they have their goals to reach to get to the end here. So that's the board. Let's get back to the box here. So little sheet of punch outs, the usual stuff. So again, the Fremen are trying to destroy, the Harkonnens are trying to destroy the Fremen sieges, their villages. So as they get destroyed, they get replaced with these rock walls to show that they're not usable anymore to bring in new troops. And you've got the standees for Fade and Paul. Got a Dreadnought mini here to help with destroying the sieges. Stuff for Wormsign, the atomics, the spotters, Gurney, which I believe gives a combat bonus. Yep, +1 to all dice. Once you'll have unlocked him on the track over here. The markers for the tracks, the stands for the standees there. You've got Jessica and oh my God, Margot Fenring over here. So that's the punch outs for that. And then the minis here, let's get them opened up real quick. Okay. And a Ziploc. All in one Ziploc, though, so you have to sort them out. First of all, there's a nice worm marker here. That's very nice. Good detail on that for a Hasbro game. Very good. And then let's kind of look at one of each of the minis because they're all going to be the same, and depending on the color, obviously. So here's, trying to get it where you can see it good. Here's one of them. They're very small, typical Risk minis. Oops. Get away from me there. So there's one of them. And then I would assume this is probably the Sardaukar here. Judging by the color. I'm sure this is Fremen. This is the Atreides green. And then I'm assuming the red here would be, I would assume this would be Harkonnen, but actually I think it might be Fremen. I think the green and the red are Fremen. So I guess the green are Fedaykin, and the red are regular Fremen. And then the others, the blue and the white, are Sardaukar and Harkonnen troops. So you get your typical dice, and then the pack of cards here. Let's get into this real quick. Card material is pretty standard Hasbro mass market fare. You might probably want to sleeve these. Yeah, just you have the oppressor deck and you have the fighters deck. So obviously the fighters is the Fremen and Atreides side, the oppressors is Harkonnen and Imperium. So they have their different cards here. I'm just going to go through them really quick because there's not a whole lot to it. It's just Risk, the way it works. So you can see there's Harkonnen, old Harkonnen, any of the above. Hold that a little high, I apologize. So those are all pretty much the same looking cards. Very cool. Typical, kind of simple Risk stuff, which is fine. And then the Fremen deck, the fighters deck, I should say. They got the Fedaykin. Move up on the Vision track. Vision or Atreides. Fremen, Fedaykin, or Thumper. So Thumper, obviously, you can summon worms to eat Harkonnen troops. And that's it. That's the contents. There's nothing else in here, I don't believe. There shouldn't be. Nope, nothing else in the box. So yeah, it's just Risk. Typical Risk type components, but it's all in the theming. So yeah, it looks pretty cool to me. They put these guys back in the bag and get the lid back on here. And then we can close out and give you my final thoughts on it. So that's Risk Dune. It looks really cool to me. I mean, I'm kind of predisposed to like it because it's Dune. I think it'll kind of fit that little niche area for me where it's, I really like Dune War for Arrakis for a big grand, retelling of basically the first Dune novel. But this game is going to kind of fit in that place where you want to play something like that, but you don't have several hours. You have like maybe an hour, hour and a half, and you want to play something, throw some dice, play some cards, move up a couple of tracks, and there you go. That seems to be kind of more where this would fit in if you're don't have the time or the table space or maybe the player base for something like War for Arrakis, which is a little bit more complicated. This is a little bit more kind of mainstream. So it's good for like families, kids that are like 10 to 12, something like that and up. But yeah, I think this will be a really good fit in my collection. It'll go on the shelf with all the other Dune games that I have, and many others, which aren't even out here right now. War for Arrakis is downstairs at the game table. So anyway, thanks again for checking out the channel, checking out the video. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the comments and the thumbs and everything else. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, and check back on the next one. I'll see you soon. Take care.